Welcome to our channel, Wise Flow. Let me ask you something. Have you ever seen a statue cry? Not with tears, but with meaning, with memory, with millions of silent prayers carved into copper. You've seen her before, in photos, in movies, on postcards, and in dreams. That tall green figure with a torch in her hand, standing guard over New York Harbor. But do you know her story? Because this is not just the story of a monument. This is the story of us. A story of war and peace, of exiles and arrivals, of pain, power, and the quiet persistence of hope. And once you hear it, truly listen to it, you will never see the Statue of Liberty the same way again. This is a story for anyone who's ever felt like an outsider, for anyone who's crossed oceans or personal battles just to be seen, heard, and free. It's the story of a gift, a friendship, a revolution, a flame, and above all, it's a story about what we choose to stand for when the world shakes and the light seems too small to matter. So come with me, because this isn't just history, this is your story too. Part 1. The Dream That Sparked a Flame. The year is 1865. The United States is gasping for air. A brutal civil war, brother against brother, has just ended. Over 600,000 lives lost. Cities turned to ash, fields soaked in blood. The nation is whole again, but barely. Its soul fractured, its spirit bruised. In this fragile moment, a quiet dream is born. Not in Washington, not in New York, but across the Atlantic. In France, a man watches. His name is Edouard de La Boulaye. He's not a general, not a president. He's a law professor, a historian, a man of thought, not war. But what he believes could change the world. La Boulaye has long admired America. To him, the U.S. is more than a country. It's a symbol, a place where freedom lives in the hearts of ordinary people, where democracy is not just a word, but a living, breathing dream. And so, as the cannons fall silent in America, La Boulaye speaks a sentence that will ignite history. If a monument should rise in the United States as a memorial to their independence, I should think it only natural if it were built by united effort, by both France and America. A monument, not to war, but to liberty. There's no money, no blueprint, no committee, only an idea. But that's where all revolutions begin, in the quiet space where dreams dare to live. Part 2. From Imagination to Icon. A few years later, La Boulaye shares his vision with a young sculptor, a man named Frederick Auguste Bartholdi. Bartholdi is no ordinary artist. He dreams big, always has. As a child, he drew towering figures. As a teen, he studied architecture and history. Now, as a man, he wants to create something that will outlive him. And La Boulaye's dream? It hits him like lightning. Bartholdi doesn't just see a statue. He considers a colossus, a woman, powerful and calm, dressed like a Roman goddess. A torch in one hand, lighting the way. A tablet on the other, engraved with July 4th, 1776. A crown with 7 rays reaching out to the 7 continents and the 7 seas. She won't be just stone, Bartholdi says. She'll be a message, a welcome, a promise. In 1871, Bartholdi boarded a ship for America. He travels the country, meeting with leaders, listening to the people. But it's when he sees Bedloe's Island, a small rocky piece of land in New York Harbor, that something clicks. From that island, you can see the city skyline. You can see the ocean. You can see possibility. This is it, he whispers. This is where liberty will rise. She will be the first thing immigrants see, a lighthouse of hope for those chasing freedom. Part 3. A movement built by the people. Bartholdi returns to France full of fire. He begins sketching, planning, and building models. But soon, reality hits him. This dream will cost a fortune, not just thousands, not even hundreds of thousands. To build a statue this size, made of copper, framed in iron, it will take millions. So they make a plan. France will pay for the statue. America will build the pedestal she stands on. But nothing comes easy. In France, the government is in chaos. The economy is struggling. In America, people are tired of war, tired of promises. Many ask, why spend money on a statue when children go hungry? Still, Bartholdi refuses to give up. He turns to an engineer, a genius, Gustave Eiffel, the same man who would later build the Eiffel Tower. Together they design an internal skeleton that will keep the statue standing for centuries through storms, earthquakes, and time itself. Then Bartholdi builds the torch arm first. Just the torch. Giant, proud, towering. He sent it to the Centennial Exhibition in Philadelphia in 1876, America's 100th birthday. Thousands come to see it. People stare in awe. The fingers alone are taller than a person. For the first time, Americans feel it. This isn't just a statue. It's a vision, a myth, a cause. But even with the excitement, there's still one giant problem. America hasn't raised the money for the pedestal. The government won't help. The rich don't care. The newspapers laugh. The dream begins to fade. Until one immigrant, one voice, changes everything. Part 4. The Power of Small Hands. His name is Joseph Pulitzer, a Hungarian immigrant. He owns a newspaper, the New York World, and he's tired of watching the dream die. So he writes an open letter. Let us not wait for millionaires. Let the people build the pedestal. Liberty belongs to us all. He promises to print the name of every single person who donates, no matter how small. And something amazing happens. Donations begin to pour in, not from tycoons or politicians, but from children, from farmers, from immigrants, from single mothers, from prisoners, from school teachers. Over 120,000 people give. Most donations are less than $1. Some gave only a few cents, all they had. It's no longer just about building a base for a statue. It's a national movement, a quiet revolution of the heart. The message is clear. We believe in liberty. We will build her, together. Part 5. Building the Impossible. The year is 1885, after nearly 20 years of struggle, labor, and belief. The Statue of Liberty finally arrives in New York Harbor, but not in one piece. She arrives broken, packed in 350 separate pieces, shipped in 214 wooden crates. Each piece is labeled, numbered, protected. But more than metal and copper, those crates carry something sacred, hope, and heartbreak. Because when she arrives, the pedestal is still unfinished. The platform where she is meant to stand, her throne, doesn't exist yet. So the crates are stored, hidden, waiting. For months, Liberty has lain in the shadows, silenced, still, rusting, a statue without a base, a symbol without a stage, a torch without a sky. But just like the people she represents, she does not give up. The pedestal is finally completed in April 1886, 89 feet tall, made of granite and concrete. Then the real work begins. Giant iron beams, a staircase spiraling 354 steps to her crown, massive copper plates shaped into feet, robes, hands, and a calm face with steady eyes. One by one, she rises, built by immigrants, Irish, Italian, German, Jewish, Eastern European, the same people who crossed oceans to find her light, now building it with their own hands. They are not constructing someone else's dream. They are raising their future. And in every rivet, every weld, every drop of sweat, they whisper a silent vow. You helped us believe. Now we will help you stand. Part 6. A torch raised to the sky. The final pieces of the statue are lifted into place. First, her feet, resting on a broken chain, crushed beneath her robes. A powerful symbol. Freedom from tyranny. No ruler, no master, only liberty. Then her legs flowing upward in giant copper waves. Her torso, solid, elegant, calm. Then her tablet held in her left arm was etched with the date July 4th, 1776. She is both ancient and modern, timeless yet urgent. Her right arm is raised high, holding the torch, a flame once made of glass and copper, now shining in gold. And finally, her head, crowned with 7 rays reaching toward the heavens, 7 rays for the 7 continents, 7 rays for the 7 seas, because liberty is for all, not just a chosen few. As the last bolts are tightened, she stands, 151 feet tall, over 300 feet, including the pedestal, a miracle of engineering, a masterpiece of art, a message carved in copper. But here's what most people never see. Inside her body there are rooms, staircases, a spiral spine of steel. Inside her torch, once there was even a viewing platform. You could climb up, look out, and see the very edge of the new world. But that view is now closed forever after an explosion in 1916 during World War I. Even liberty sometimes must close her eyes. Still, she stands, watching, waiting. Part 7. The day liberty spoke without words. October 28, 1886. New York wakes up different. The skies are gray, the wind is sharp, but there's electricity in the air. Boats crowd the harbor. Crowds fill the streets. It's time. Today, the Statue of Liberty will be unveiled. President Grover Cleveland arrives to speak. Dignitaries from both nations gather. Flags from France and America hang over her copper face. Cleveland steps up and says, "We will not forget that liberty has here made her home." And then, in one powerful motion, the flags are pulled away. For the first time, the people see her fully. A thunderous cheer erupts, cannons fire, church bells ring, a 5-mile parade storms through the city, and from windows high above, people throw paper and confetti into the air. It's the first ticker-tape parade in American history. But this isn't just about celebration. It's a birth, because in that moment, liberty becomes real. Not just for France, not just for America, but for the world. Part 8. A light in the darkness. Imagine this. You are a child, from Poland, Italy, or Greece. You've been on a ship for weeks. The sea was rough, the food was bad, you're scared. Your parents are silent, holding on to everything they own in a single bag. And then you see her, rising from the fog, the torch, the crown, the calm, powerful face, the Statue of Liberty. You've never seen anything so tall, so beautiful, so impossible. You don't know her name, but you know what she means. You're safe now, she seems to say. You made it. You're welcome here. Millions of people felt that moment. They cried, they prayed, they kissed the ship's railing, because she wasn't just a statue. She was a mother, a protector, a promise. But that promise wasn't always kept. Part 9. A mirror, not just a monument. Here's the hard truth. When liberty was unveiled in 1886, not everyone in America was free. African Americans were still facing brutal racism. Women still couldn't vote. Native Americans were being pushed from their lands. Chinese immigrants were being banned at the borders. Some people looked at the statue and said, "She holds a torch of liberty, but not all of us can stand in her light." And they were right, but that's the deeper power of liberty. She isn't a trophy. She's a challenge. She doesn't declare freedom is complete. She asks, How far are you willing to go to make it real? And that's why over the next 100 years, she became part of every major fight for freedom: women's suffrage, the civil rights movement, world wars, immigration reform. At every turn, liberty didn't just stand. She became a mirror. She made people ask, do we live up to what we say we believe? And if the answer was no, that didn't mean give up. It meant fighting harder. Part 10, The Poem That Changed Everything. 3 years before the statue even arrived, a young woman was asked to write a poem. Her name was Emma Lazarus. She was Jewish, the daughter of immigrants. And she had seen what many hadn't, the suffering of poor Jewish refugees escaping persecution. When she sat down to write, she didn't write about America's power. She didn't mention France or the war or politics. She wrote about the people no one wanted: the tired, the poor, the broken, the lost. And she gave liberty a voice. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed, to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. At first her poem was forgotten. Emma died young, and the poem nearly disappeared. But years later, when immigrants poured through Ellis Island, when they looked at liberty and tried to find words for what they felt, they found her poem. In 1903, it was engraved in bronze and placed inside the pedestal. And from that moment on, liberty's meaning changed forever. She wasn't just a monument. She wasn't just a gift from France. She was a mother of exiles, a voice for the voiceless, a light in the storm. And Emma's words still echo through time, louder than stone, stronger than steel. Now, the story is in your hands. Because the Statue of Liberty was never just about history. She's about the future, and you are part of that future. If this story moved you, if it reminded you of your journey, if it lit something inside you, even a small spark, don't let it fade. Keep the torch burning. Share this video. Pass the story forward, because someone out there, someone feeling lost, forgotten, or afraid, they need to hear this. They need to know there is still light in the world. Leave a comment. Tell us what liberty means to you. Tell us where you're watching from. Tell us if you've ever seen her, or if you dream of one day. And if you believe stories like this matter, stories that remind us who we are, subscribe to our channel. Because here, we don't just tell stories, we carry torches, and together we light the way. The torch is now in your hands. Don't let it go out.